All right, let's move on with some business news now. Stephen Carroll joins me for that. Stephen, we're going to start off in the UK. Google has announced a major new investment there.
And it's been seen as a vote of confidence in London as a technology hub, even as Britain prepares to leave the European Union. The internet giant is investing an estimated £1 billion in a new headquarters next to King's Cross train station. The move announced by Google's chief executive, Sundar Pichai, on Tuesday. He says the company hasn't been put off by the uncertainty following the Brexit vote.
Historically, the UK has been an open and connected economy. And like a lot of businesses, we are proud of and rely on the fact that we recruit the best talent from around the world. We are optimistic that the situation will continue. We understand there's uncertainty and even concerns about topics like Brexit and the pace of technological change in our times. But we know for certain that web and digital technology will be an engine of growth for the UK for years to come.
Move across to China next. Stephen, the authorities there have allowed the currency to drop to its weakest level in 8 years.
The Chinese central bank sets an official exchange rate for the yuan every day. The currency is then allowed to trade within 2% of that mark. Now, the bank has been weakening that rate steadily for 9 days now. Today's fix, though, is the lowest since August 2008. Traders say the People's Bank of China is partly compensating for the rise in the dollar after Donald Trump's election.
All right, from currency markets to stock markets, what's the latest action?
A mixed start to the day in Europe. Paris and London opening up, being led by mining companies, but some small falls on the DAX in Frankfurt. French construction and telecoms group Bouygues is up 2% after its latest results. Interestingly, one of its senior executives saying that Donald Trump's infrastructure programme could be a good thing for that company if they perhaps get involved in winning some of those contracts. Over in Asia, we did see some relief for shares today after recent falls. The Nikkei in Tokyo finishing the day up over 1%. Nintendo shares in particular getting a boost after they announced the release date for Super Mario Run, their next mobile game. Their shares up by almost 3% at the end of the day.
All right, well, quite a lot of technology news in our bulletin today. Nintendo there, Google at the top of the bulletin. We're also talking about the messaging app Snapchat. And Stephen, this is because it's preparing to launch on the stock market.
Snapchat has filed confidentially for an initial public offering of shares that could happen as early as next March. It's hoping for a valuation of between 20 and 25 billion, according to reports, which would make it the biggest tech company flotation since Facebook in 2012. Snapchat has more users than Twitter, and crucially for investors, it's captured the younger market. Yuka Royer tells us more.
The numbers speak volumes about Snapchat's meteoric rise. According to the company, some 150 million people use the app every day, 60 million of them in North America and 50 million in Europe. The number of daily video views on Snapchat has skyrocketed from 1 billion to over 10 billion in the last 2 years alone. All this just 5 years after it was launched as a class project by a Stanford University student.
People are using snaps to talk with friends rather than just capture memories.
Snapchat is a platform that allows users to communicate through photos or videos called snaps. A key element is that they disappear once viewed, helping users protect their privacy. But the company has also faced criticism over a number of security breaches. A new feature called Stories, introduced in 2013, turned the messaging app into a broadcasting platform. Millions posted and watched Stories on the Super Bowl and presidential debates.
On any given day, Snapchat reaches 41% of all 18 to 34-year-olds in the U.S. In comparison, an average individual U.S. TV network only reaches 6% of the same demographic.
With increasing users come increasing sales. According to research firm eMarketer, Snap's advertising revenues are expected to hit $1 billion next year and nearly double that the year after. Branding itself a camera company, Snap is now going into hardware. It's recently launched picture-taking sunglasses, spectacles.
All right, well, from a piece of the future to a piece of the past. Stephen, you can now finally buy a piece of Paris to take home with you.
Yes, that's thanks to an entrepreneur who's begun selling Paris's famous cobblestones. Legally, we should point out. The city itself started selling off tons of the granite cobbles earlier this year. The stones, some of which date back to the 11th century, have been dug up as part of various works in the city, like building the tram network. But Margot Sanlag bought 5 tons of them and started her online shop called Mont Pavé Parisien. She started selling them at €60 a piece. Now, Bloomberg reporting she's only sold about 50 so far, but customers have ranged from Chinese brides to French expatriates living in the US who want a little piece of home.
Very nice. And no going around hacking out bits of the pavement. You've been warned. Thanks very much. Stephen Carroll there with our business update.